I mean, I agree with you. I think like we're in this moment of incredible division, incredible amount of like of bigotry and hatred and racism. And yet I'm like, we do need something we can all latch on to. And it won't be necessarily defund the police. I do believe in defunding the police. And I believe that we need to actually move money into real services for people. And that, you know, and that, but I'm like, that's too scary. That's too much of like white America is too fucking scared. And I'm scared of white America. I'm like, how do we handhold these nut jobs so we can like work towards something, so they like let go of the AR-15? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Look, we've along the way we've had slogans that have been slogans that didn't work. You know, abolish ICE was one, defund the police was another. Both of them pointed in the very right direction. There's a fundamental failure of our immigration system. It's underfunded. It simply has no. What we've done is we sacrificed the fact that we didn't have an effective system with putting tough guys in enforcement and going out and arresting and deporting people. Yeah. Whereas the real problem is, it's not just that we don't know where the parents of the children are, right? We don't know where immigrants are who come in the country on a visitor visa. You come in on a visitor visa and you stay for 10 years. We don't know what to do. I mean, the system is broken because it's not well staffed. And where it's staffed at all, the rules are arbitrary and they're implemented in inadequate ways. I mean, the result is it's a system of chaos. It needs to be fixed. Abolish ICE, fix ICE, yes. Same with the police. I mean, look, I grew up in Frank Rizzo's Philadelphia. Police brutality was the norm. Racism was the norm. Police killing people wantonly was the norm. Abolish the police? No, get rid of Frank Rizzo. Get rid of racist cops. Create community civilian review boards for police. Make them held accountable. The problem right now is that police are not accountable to anybody. And so when people aren't accountable, bad behavior becomes the norm and there's impunity sets in. It simply makes sense that unless the legislatures take control of police, police will take control of the city. And that's where we've gone right now. There is no reason why we have militarized policing. There's no reason why, like,
it makes people a lot of money. It makes,
well, I mean, I watched the Ferguson things with my wife here. We were watching it that night, and it so reminded me of the West Bank, you know, when the Israelis would bring the tanks into town with the tear gas and everything. I mean, our cities occupied territory? That's what they look like. Mm-hmm. And that's the behavior they learn. I mean, our police go and study in Israel how to do it. I mean, what's the point? I think that the issue here is not defund the police, but it's fix the police, make them held accountable, and provide services that can solve problems for communities and for police. I mean, look, we put these guys in uniforms, give them guns, not only guns, but we give them the battle gear of a warrior, and we don't teach them how to deal with social problems that they're going to run into, how to deal with family disputes.
But they can't talk to someone like they're human, but they have all the weaponry.
And there's a culture that gets developed. My son was at the Justice Department years ago working in civil rights, and they had started these programs in cities that were being held in violation of fundamental civil rights, looking at how they're being trained, looking at the culture that's been created and trying to break that down. That's what's got to happen. So the scary thing, defund police, fix the police, make them held accountable, make them servants of the public rather than the overlords of the public. Absolutely.
I disagree on ICE. I'm definitely, I want to talk about something else, but I do say, I do think we should abolish ICE. Honestly, ICE says they need to abolish ICE. Didn't you read that story where they were like, we don't know what we're doing. We're doing a bad job at immigration.
We need an immigration service. The question is, what you call it is one thing. We need an immigration service. We need to know how to deal with bringing people in and processing them, allowing them to become citizens or get work permits, et cetera. Right now, the system is so broken, we have no idea what's going on.